You're listening to TurkishSoccer.com's Turkish Football Podcast. Hello, everyone. My name is Ahmed Bob Turgut. We'll preview in this 15 minutes of podcast what happened in the past weekend in the week 13. And we'll talk about what's coming up in the midweek for the Turkish teams that are playing in the European competitions. We'll give you the details, and then we'll probably talk about week 14 after the European matches that is coming up on Wednesday and Thursday. But on this podcast, most likely we will talk all about what happened in the week 13. My homily and my rants. Again, I'm going to talk about every weekend the controversy of Turkish referees never stops. In pretty much every match so far until this weekend, we're in the 13th week already. Turkish Super League played the 13 weeks into the season. In every weekend, we have witnessed referees calling bad calls, making huge mistakes, and there are the talk of the town in the Turkish Super League. I'm talking about Turkish referees in general. This weekend, in the week 13, there was a lot of mess-ups. This is going on non-stop. So the Turkish Football Federation has to do something about this, because pretty much every team in Turkish Super League is complaining about the referees. What can we say more about it? I've been talking about it on this podcast, every podcast I do here. So in the week 13, if we recap what happened, while Galatasaray and Beşiktaş lost, and right now Trabzonspor still opened the gap. They are on top of the Turkish Super League. And the other thing that we see, it's very strange, after week 13, the big three from Istanbul, they're not in the top three. After Fenerbahce beating Galatasaray, they made a move. They moved to 5th place. There are other clubs that I want to talk about. As I mentioned to you in my podcast many times here, I said when the season started, Başakşehir looked very bad, at least first 4 or 5 matches. Ever since Emre Belözoğlu took the team, the coach without the pro license, by the way, he has won 5th straight back-to-back with Başakşehir. With the help of, I'm going to say it, with the help of referees. Now, Başakşehir, as you know, they were in the relegation zone probably about 6-7 weeks ago. Right now, Başakşehir is on top of Galatasaray and Beşiktaş. They are in the 7th place with 21 points. If you look at the last five matches in the Turkish Super League, Başakşehir and Trabzonspor, it's got to be the most formed team in the Turkish Super League. Well, let's talk about Trabzonspor. In the Trabzonspor match, again, there was a lot of mistakes by a referee. Even though Trabzonspor won the match 3-0, but we could tell one thing, you have to give them kudos. Trabzonspor hasn't lost a match in 25 matches. That's incredible. In 25 matches, Trabzonspor hasn't lost a match. In their in their last 13 matches, they won their 10 matches and draw only 3. No loss. Trabzonspor is probably the only team in the big European competition leagues right now. They are only team with the undefeated record in the Europe. Not only in Turkey, but in Europe too. So kudos to Trabzonspor. Whatever they're doing, they're really working hard and they're playing good soccer. That's why they are on top of the Turkish Super League with 33 points. Now, here's the thing. After Trabzonspor, second and third place with 26 points, we have Cinderella teams, Hatayspor and Konyaspor. As I've been saying this, not so much with Hatayspor, but Konyaspor, it's got to be one of the best teams playing soccer this season in the Turkish Super League. That's why they are in third place with 26 points. Speaking of Hatayspor, they are a good team too. That's why they're in second place with 26 points. Remember, in the beginning of the season, Altay was on top of the charts first 3-4 weeks. Well, Altay, the team from Izmir, coached by Mustafa Denizli, right now it's going down every weekend. One time they were in the first place, they were in the second and third. We see Altay right now in mid-bracket. So things are not looking good for Altay. They have to shape up and win some games because Altay dropped down to 11th place with 16 points. Another team that started the season very bad, Mario Balotelli's Adana Demirspor, they are in the 10th place with 19 points. Another team that has been winning matches ever since the Italian coach came into the scene. So, looking at the week 13, besides the referee controversial, let me run down what happened on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And I'll talk about the derby match between Galatasaray and Fenerbahce a little bit. On Saturday, we had 4 matches. Hatayspor, the second place team at home, beat Antalyaspor 3-1. And Başakşehir was at home against Sivasspor. Huge mistakes by referee in this match. Başakşehir won this match 2-1, but I'm telling you, the referee cost Sivasspor at least a draw. Another match on Saturday, Giresun was at home, and Giresunspor beat Yeni Malatyaspor 1-0. And Giresunspor, another team, is trying to get out of relegation zone. Alanya, another team, is doing really good in the standings. That's why they're in the 4th place with 24 points. They beat Beşiktaş. Well, I'm going to tell you something. There are a lot of things wrong with Beşiktaş and something wrong with Beşiktaş coach Sergen Yalçın. Beşiktaş looked awful in this match. After the match, today on Monday, Beşiktaş officials suspended Enkudu for uncertain time because of unprofessionalism on the field. And Beşiktaş, they better start shaping up because right now, between Trabzonspor and Beşiktaş, there are 13 points. There's no way, the way they're going, there's no way they're going to try to claim the title at the end of the year. 13 points is a huge gap between the first place and ninth place Beşiktaş. On Sunday, in the week 13, there were 4 matches. Kasımpaşa was at home. They lost against Fatih Karagümrük 3-1. Altay at home in İzmir lost to Adana Demirspor 3-1. Konyaspor at home, the third place team, beat Rizespor 3-0. And the biggest match, the match of the week on Sunday, played in front of 52,000 Galatasaray fans. And Galatasaray lost this match against Fenerbahce. Fenerbahce beat Galatasaray 2-1. It all started with first goal by Galatasaray, Kerem Aktürkoğlu. And then Fenerbahce came back, tied the match with Mesut Özil. First goal of the season for Mesut Özil. And he started the match after a week before, after they lost the match in the week 12. Fenerbahce president Ali Koç gave a talk to Coach Pereira and also had a long talk with Mesut Özil. And then things changed in this match. You know what changed? First time this season, we saw Fenerbahce playing 4-man defense. 4-man, there were 4 players playing on defense. First time this season. And another thing, we saw Mesut Özil started. So something that Ali Koç, the president of Fenerbahce, pushed the button, red button, and gave Coach Pereira ultimatum. Ultimatum was also for Mesut Özil because Ali Koç told Mesut Özil to shape up, forget about his personal business dealings, and concentrate on the team playing for Fenerbahce. Guess what happened? Fenerbahce beat Galatasaray in Galatasaray's nest. Now, there was a lot of controversial calls in this match too. It was controversial calls in Alanya Beşiktaş match. Pretty much as I said, every match played in week 13, it was bad calls by referees. Coming back to Derby match. All the 3 goals that scored in Galatasaray-Fenerbahce match, there were huge mistakes by defenders. The reason why Galatasaray lost this match, I'm going to tell you, be honest with you guys. The reason why Galatasaray lost this match, because Fatih Terim is still rotating his team. You cannot have him come in substitute and Mustafa come in the second half. You don't have a striker. Kerem Aktürkoğlu is not a striker. So that's one of the reasons why they lost that match. On Monday, Trabzonspor beat, as I mentioned to you, Gaziantep 3-0, and Kayseri tied at home 1-1. Well, the European match is coming up. Beşiktaş, no reason to be in Champions League. And Beşiktaş will play against Ajax. And Fenerbahce will face Olympiacos. And Galatasaray will be at home against Marseille. 2 huge matches for Fenerbahce and Galatasaray. Galatasaray can't afford to lose this match. Fenerbahce with 6 points and Olympiacos with 7 points. They have to win this match. In that Group D, Frankfurt sits on top with 10 points. Galatasaray is on top in the Group E with 8 points, and Marseille has 4 points. So we'll see you after these matches, and we'll talk about week 14. Thank you for listening. See you. Bye-bye.